Kính chào quý vị. Welcome to Lifestyles Today. I am Donna Phượng. So we have an awesome show for you all today. I'm actually very excited to have Kim Le. Thank you so much for being on the show again.
Thank you for having me here.
I remember you last time. You really gave some really good advice. So
Thank you.
Well, happy to have you back on. For those who don't know what clinical therapy is, can you let people know what it is?
Yeah, so really briefly, so I don't bore anyone to death, basically it's an understanding of the subconscious, how we work from the root, the inner core. And basically the study helps me work with my clients so that I can diagnose to understand really what is the core issue that they're dealing with, whether it's addictions or medical illness or relationship issues. We dive down into the root cause and we fix it from there.
Okay, so that's good to know. What are some common questions that people usually ask you? Because it's day-to-day stuff, right?
Yeah. They ask me about the modalities that I use, and there's many modalities that we use. We're like chefs in the kitchen.
Okay.
And we customize each therapy session to each person.
Okay. So then, for instance, somebody who is going to have a great loss due to death, or maybe like a failed marriage, that increases your stress level and actually can cause depression, right?
Yes.
So what type of tips can you give a person who's going through something like that?
Well, I think it's also very helpful if we understand what the 5 biggest causes of stress are.
Okay.
You just listed 2 of them, divorce, death of a loved one, a new job, change in residence. And then there's more, and I won't go into detail, but basically it's an understanding of okay, where we're at, where we want to move forward to, and actually picking ourselves up to do it.
Okay.
Many times we also need the help of a friend, a family, or oftentimes a therapist to help guide us through.
Okay.
And there's many different methods if that's what you want me to go into detail about. But basically it's maintain a positive attitude, and it's continue to seek an outlet for ourselves to relieve stress and to speak up. Speak to people and talk.
Okay. When you say outlet, what do you mean? Like, you talking about exercising or
You're exactly
some type
right.
of hobby? Okay.
So it's something that takes off your focus on stress or the cause of stress. So for many people it's exercise, for some people it's cooking, for some people it's shopping, So it's basically how do we get our minds off of the stress-related issue and zone out.
Okay. So do you think if you're zoning out, are you just ignoring the problem that exists, or?
I think, and because a lot of the therapy that I do, when a client comes to me and they sit in my office for an hour, hour and a half, what we do is we relax the physical body and we relax the mind. And that is something a lot of us fail to understand, comprehend, and actually do, because our mind's constantly working even when we're sleeping. And so we need to let our minds rest at times. And there's people who go into yoga or meditation. And those are different avenues, also outlets as well. But yeah, basically it's there are ways that you can go into the zoning period and ignore it, but at the same time, if you have an understanding that you have that issue and if that's something you do want to address, I think it's healthy that you spend time to address it and you spend time to refresh your brain.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what, so do you deal a lot with, not people under any type of, serious psychotic disorders. It's more of like people who are going through a daily stress event, right? So can you give me an example of maybe a story of somebody you know? You don't have to give the names, obviously, but story of like, what their situation was and how did you help them?
So basically, the therapy that I do also helps with people who have low self-esteem or phobias, or they just want a new purpose in life. And so basically what I work with them is self-empowerment. Everyone has their own answers in the inner core. How do we clear out all the noise, like stress and responsibilities and just all the noise in your everyday life? How do we clear that out so that we can hear our inner voice? And basically I did have a client in the past. I had a major phobia with highways. And so when she was driving, if anybody ever told her, go ahead and take 101 South, or, you know, she would exhibit actual physiological phobia type symptoms. You know,
Okay.
sweating of the hands, heart palpitation, you know, just stress.
Uh-huh.
And so we helped her with dialing back what was the root cause. And many years ago, she was in a car accident
Okay.
on the highway. And for her, it was turmoil. It was something that conditioned her to the point where if she's on the highway, she's going to die.
Uh-huh.
So basically, what we did was help her reprogram that, help her feel safe on the highway.
Okay.
And it was about a year later, she was able to drive on the highway alone. And it was about 6 years that she went through that phobia.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I mean, to recondition someone's mind after they've been so conditioned to an external stimuli, right? How, I mean, can you give me an example of what you do in that type of therapy where you recondition someone's mind?
Sure. So one of the modalities that I frequently use is called NLP, and that's Neuro-Linguistics Reprogramming. And basically, you're reprogramming certain memories, certain behaviors, characteristics. And basically what we did with her, we got very creative. And with most of my sessions, my aim is to have fun. We laugh at our mistakes, we enjoy them, and then we turn around and fix them. So basically, we relived, you know, the storytelling and guided imagery. We relived that time when she was in the car and she looked in her rear view mirror and she saw a truck coming towards her
Okay.
when she was in stopping traffic.
Okay.
And basically, we reprogram thoughts while they're in the subconscious phase, and it's through constant repetition.
Okay. Interesting. I mean, I was a psychology major, so all of that is actually really interesting. And if you want to know more about what Kim does or want to get in touch with Kim, how can our audience reach you, Kim?
They can visit my website, and it's www.tranquilminds.com, or they can email me at messagekim@yahoo.com.
Okay, so before we go with the interview, can you give one tip on, just a quick tip on how to release stress when you feel stress in your day?
Yes, this is one of my most popular tips with my clients that they exhibit panic or anxiety disorders, and that's
Okay.
very serious, very common. But it's notice your breathing, notice your surroundings, and basically take in 4 to 5 really deep breaths. And the correct way of breathing is actually when you inhale, your stomach comes out. When you exhale, your stomach goes in, because that brings the most oxygen into the deeper areas of your lungs,
Okay.
straight to your brain. And that should help you relax your breathing, which slows down your heartbeat, and find some peace in that stressful moment.
Thank you so much. That was
Sure.
very helpful. I hope you find the tip very helpful, and you know where to reach Kim. Again, at your website again was?
Yes, it's www.tranquilminds.com, or you can email me at messagekim@yahoo.com.
Thank you.